Another episode is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I tell you, with all the releases and news stories and new eras that are occurring in the next week or what occurred the past week or just the timeline of wrestling in general, it's just been a plethora of things we need to catch up on. And thankfully, your boy Jay is in the building for that. It's been a productive couple of weeks, man. Shout out to my baby girl, super producer Sally, who celebrated her sweet 16 this past week. I want to thank everybody who came out and showed her some love. Took her to the zoo. This kid made it so easy for me, man. Like, it was so easy. Everybody who has a daughter tends to have to go through the quote unquote pleasure of having to do a sweet 16 and yet spending an abundance of money on just the pageantry and the expenses of just getting a rental space and such and all that. But my kid is just awesome. She was just on that mind frame where it's like, yeah, no, we don't need to do that. Yeah. Take that money if you want and just save it for maybe like, college or graduation gift or something like that, because she's like, no, I want to take a few of my friends, take them to the zoo, and that's it. And sure enough, that's what we did. Took them to the zoo, bought them food, put them on a carousel, done. And they all had a good time. Thank you, Sally, for giving me that out, basically, because not many parents would get that out. But I know she's going to make me pay for it in the end, because I know I'm going to have to like fly her to Paris or some shit like that for her graduation of high school or something like that. But other than that, welcome everybody to another episode of Turnbuckle Tabloid. I am your host, Mr. Ear to the Mat, the king of talk style, the cheap thrill, and also the Red Reddington of wrestling. Your boy, Jay the Red Sensei. Be sure you check us out on all the social media outlets. Check us out on the like and group page on Facebook. Make sure you check us out on Instagram at Turnbuckle Tab. Be sure you check us out on X at Turnbuckle Tab. And be sure you check us out on TikTok, YouTube, and all the other streaming outlets like Twitch and such at Turnbuckle Tabloid. Also, be sure you download, subscribe, be a part of the vibe at all the podcasting outlets that's available to you guys. iHeart, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you could get a podcast, that's where Turnbuckle Tabloid is at. Believe me, I know. I've searched, I've looked. I know we're everywhere. Make sure you check us out there. And be sure to continue supporting the family at RageWorksNetwork.com. So much podcast available for your listening pleasures. Make sure you check out the family at RageWorksNetwork.com. And also check out the website itself, the one that started it all, RageWorks.net. RageWorks.net has everything under the sun that pertains to all things geekdom. You got movies, TV shows, hobbies, video games, whatever you guys are into, comic books. It's all available to you guys. Why go anywhere else? Go to RageWorks.net to check out all things reviews, preview, contests that are available, and much, much more. So guys, go to the family at RageWorks.net. RageWorks.net. We do it for the culture, baby. Pop culture, that is. So, I'm rushing through this intro quick because we got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, man. And I have to tell you, I'm so happy that I'm able to have, one of our dearest friends to the show make a return. Our boy, it's Ride or Die with Homicide. He's making his return this past week. The man has been busy for the past year and a half or so, and for him to take some time to have a conversation with us is awesome. Bear in mind, I call him the Red Man of wrestling. And if you know who I'm talking about, the rapper Redman, my favorite rapper of all time. Redman is by far one of my goats. And if you've ever seen an episode of TV show MTV Cribs, this is good. This just shows you how old I am. But there's an episode. It's probably the most iconic episode of MTV Cribs in which, rather than go to all the lavish houses that people live in, they went to Redman's house, and it was legitimately his house. He lived in Brick City, New Jersey, and he had like a busted doorbell with. You had to rub the wires together to ring the bell. his cousin was sleeping on the floor. He put his money in the dollar box and all that. It's crazy. And it's probably the most hoodest but genuine episodes of Cribs that I've ever seen. And that's why he's one of my, if not my favorite, it is my favorite rapper of all time. So Homicide is that same way. You know that he does pretty well for himself. And you know that he's a bit eccentric. He's very hood. He keeps it gutter. And the same could be said about his phone connection. Like, it's troublesome when you know, if you know how he talks and the way that he speaks, he's been like that for decades. And that, and compounding with that, it almost sounded like he was talking from a bunker during a bombing or something, because although you get the gist of the conversation, but just him going in and out, it's just the genuineness of him. But believe me, you'll get the gist of what the conversation goes down the road with. He talks about it's possible as longevity in wrestling coming to an end soon, his possible future after the business, or after the ring work. Maybe he's not going to leave the business. Maybe there's more for him to do within the business besides touching base with the ropes. And what's the casualties and the low lights that occurs when you are a wrestler for almost 30 years, and much more. So don't go anywhere, and make sure you sit and listen to our guy Homicide. Also on this episode, cutting a promo this week, we'll be discussing the WWE releases, the shock and awe of the releases. Not really shocked and awed about any of them. I actually believe that some of them were warranted and some of them were necessary. Now I just got to go to my WWE 2K universe to start moving people around to where I think they will fit best, but we shall see. But other than that, guys, much more to talk about. Heel of the Week makes its return, so you don't want to miss who's going to be on that segment, and much more. So guys, don't go anywhere. Stick around. Tons of content this week, guys. Check you guys in a second.
Sin ti no me quiero imaginar. Lo único que quiero es quedarme a tu lado. Tú me haces sentir vivo y muy especial. Hoy bailamos en la cima del cielo, mirando a las estrellas, compartiendo par de botellas. Siempre serás mi reina. Cuánto te amo a ti, suerte tengo yo. De ti me enamoré, eres la dueña de mi corazón. Contigo me siento bien, estoy en la cima del cielo. De ti me enamoré, eres la dueña de mi corazón. Te mereces todas las flores, todas las flores. Tienes una sonrisa que brilla como el sol, amor, mi amor, la mujer más bonita en este mundo, Hay veces cuando me quitas el aliento, cuando me miras a los ojos yo tiemblo, me descontrolo, mami, tú eres mi todo, baby. Cuánto te amo a ti, suerte tengo yo. De ti me enamoré, eres la dueña de mi corazón. Contigo me siento bien, estoy en la cima del cielo. De ti me enamoré, eres la dueña de mi corazón. Te mereces todas las flores, todas las flores. Right, baby. You deserve all the flowers in the world. Papito music, baby. Let's go. Eres la mujer de mis sueños, una cosa del cielo. Estoy en la nube, noveno, nuestro amor es tan bello, amor. Lo que tenemos hacemos me llena de emoción. Estoy más que feliz y tú eres la razón. Creo que es un sueño, a veces no me lo creo. Lo que tenemos es perfecto, mami, tú eres a fuego, amor. Todo de ti, tú eres mi religión. Te adoro.
Check out Papito Music on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you get your musical pleasures.
Hey, you're listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid with the SAT, Joel Jose Maximo, baby.
Give me that fucking mic! Turnbuckle Tabloid, cutting a promo. What's going on, everybody? Another week of cutting a promo, and this week we are discussing WWE seems to be pissing people off again. I don't see why. We knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. We knew that the WWE was going to be making cuts. And the cuts that we figured that were going to be popping up, yeah, were actually people that were pretty obvious. Let's be for real. When we go through the recent cuts, it's either, wow, I can't believe that they actually were cut. B, really, they cut them? C, when were they gonna cut them? Or finally it happened. And that's what occurred. To me, it was finally it happened. I'm honestly, I'm not upset. I'm not upset with the cuts because a lot of them were a long time coming. So if you guys who are wrestling fans were living under a rock, there was a plethora of individuals who were released, and names such as Rick Boogs, Elias, one name in particular that a lot of people were not upset with, but knew that their time was coming. One of my favorites for the longest time, which was Dolph Ziggler, Aaliyah, Mustafa Ali, and a lot of NXT cuts that people said, who? I laughed because there were NXT cuts and people were like, who was cut? So, names like Shelton Benjamin, Elias, Dana Brooke. We have Emma, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Mace Mansoor, Quincy Elliott, a couple of people, Shanky. Yeah, and there was a couple of names in NXT. I was like, oh, okay, who are these? Who are all these people? I'm not upset with it. I'm more in the line of what comes with that, because usually the big cuts come from with big name individuals, and you go, what? Everybody on their line had Karrion Kross. If this was bingo or something of that magnitude, Karrion Kross was on their fucking bingo line. They were waiting for that shit. Kind of fucked up when you think about it. You waiting, you're wishing for somebody to get fired. That's the way I was looking at it. I was like, really? But to me, I'm like, shout out to my boy Ben. What's good? The mayor of Mookville. That's who I am. That's what I be. And you must be the prime minister of Mookland. yeah, I am more of the sense that where this time has been, I have to say that it's not as bad as people deemed it to be. I really would have thought that there were major big boy cuts that were going to happen, and it wasn't. There were people who I really thought that, yeah, their time was come. Especially the one for Dolph Ziggler. If you guys want to partake, I'm actually putting, and this is a rare thing because I'm trying to test certain things out. I'm putting a link on the stream right now. If you want to partake in a conversation, click on the link that's on the stream right now. I just put it up on a Facebook page. If you want to partake in it, just click on that link and then you could jump into the studio with me and we can have a conversation. So, Dolph, everybody, we all have this conversation about Dolph. Like, they should have done more with him. There's a lot that could have been done. He had such a great run. He had, and I say to this day, he had probably the biggest pops I've ever heard in wrestling, if not the biggest pops in wrestling, which was when he cashed in on Alberto Del Rio for the championship. I was a big supporter, big fan of Dolph. But you get to a point to where, injury wise, you get stagnated in a certain realm. Great on the mic and a great ring worker, but you could always put the blame as well on the powers that be who had the control of creative and such. Thank you, Vince, for dropping the ball on certain individuals, and Dolph was one of them. But the other thing with Dolph is that he was able to manifest a world outside of wrestling. He became a stand-up comedian. He became a storyteller. He began to work the media circuit. And with Dolph, I think with that, it showed to WWE is like, he doesn't really need us. And that's not a bad thing. It's not it's not a negative to him. He's multifaceted, and that's a good thing for him to be able to say, hey, WWE, I love wrestling. I love what it is that we do, but I gotta go. I'm still with the premise to where he'll make a return because he's a WWE guy. But will it be under that same edge kind of thing to where he's takes a layoff and does what he has to do and comes back, or which many believe that he will be AEW bound? And that's the other thing with this Black Thursday that occurred, where everybody believes and assumes that, hey, how many people will end up in certain places? Ben just asked, how many people do you believe will end up in AEW? Well, okay, I'll give you a rundown. Number one, Dolph Ziggler, I believe, will be in AEW. His brother's there, and you would be dumb if you don't sign up this guy. And then plus with the schedule that they have, it works perfectly for what he wants to do. Shelton Benjamin. This one hurts because there's so much promise in the past with Shelton that it should have been something greater for him later on down the line with WWE. Although we've seen him win, the IC title and tag titles and such like that. But Shelton is so good ring wise that he should have gotten more from him. Shelton is a guy that maybe I see in AEW, but I also would like to see him get a contract later on down the line to be a trainer or a coach with WWE. He's so smart, and he could be such an asset to the company. I think that there might be something more underlining for him than what we saw. Elias, Impact guy. Mustafa Ali, Impact guy, maybe AEW, maybe. Dana Brooke, I say Impact. Emma, wherever the fuck she wants to go to. She has that carte blanche. Rick Boogs, Impact guy. Aaliyah, she's gonna be in the Indies for a minute. I'm sorry, unless Impact would want to take that, but she's gonna be in Indies. Roderick Moss, that could be interesting because he has the look, has the mic skills. I would say Impact, but I think that AEW might scoop him up for a reason. Top Dollar, none. I think he's burned so many bridges right now. He's done so. I think it's I think he pretty much has made a impact in the back so that people would think that he's damaged goods. Masay and Mansoor, Indie for now. They can make their way, or they'll just, find other things to do. Quincy Elliott, the NXT one, there was rumors that he had been burning bridges early on and have been really, really been a problem in the back, which is crazy. I liked the gimmick, and I thought that it could have gone over. It probably could have been a new age kind of gold dust, but they said that he was too much of a headache for that to happen. Other people that that I really didn't know who they were, but Shanky, come on, really? Okay. And the rest were the NXT releases, and I'm like, okay. Nothing really that was too out of the realm of the scope that we would have thought, because that's what I'm saying. Usually it'd have been something crazy. It'd be like Sami Zayn is released, like it, but we didn't get that this time around. We didn't get that. And I think that it shows to the fact. Ben says bit off topic, but have you been watching this series on Netflix? On the radio? No, this is, everybody's been telling me to watch it, and I'm like a big fucking wrestling guy, but I haven't got to there yet, because when I heard of the wrestlers, I thought it was the Vice series that they had. But I didn't know it was the OVW one, so I'm looking to see if I could cram that this weekend or during the week for that. So people have been telling me about that. Facebook user says Riddle has been released. I haven't seen it. And was it released like right now, because everybody else doesn't have it? Everybody has been saying somebody's been released. Like I said, Karrion Kross was said to be released, but that didn't happen. And it's kind of, it's funny that it almost seems as though that people are wishing that people are released, that they're waiting for them to be fucking released. Kind of morbid when it comes. You want people to lose their jobs. Matt, if that's you, then you need to fucking click on the link so I can see that it's you, bro. Like, come on, let's be for real. If Riddle is released, I wouldn't be surprised about it either. I'm okay with that. I mean, honestly, I think we've already dealt with his buffoonery, but I also still believe that the company has some kind of belief in him. So we shall see. I'm also doing a double banger of cutting a promo because this past week we saw a return to WWE with The Rock. Dwayne Johnson makes a return to WWE. And people are unhappy about this. And I go, why? Why are we unhappy about this? Do we not know what WWE is, who they are, and what they do? They got to bring the big names out. So WWE was in Boulder, Colorado, which by happenstance, The Rock was going to see the Colorado University and Colorado State game. So I don't know. Maybe it makes sense for him to show up at a fucking show. Maybe. Did you see the numbers that it drew on social media? Did you see the ratings that it got? As much as people could say as how drab, boring, and outdated that Rock is, he still draws. People always say, they're taking away time from talent that should be progressing and everything. And I go, yeah, he is. But that's not his fault. That's talent's fault. People talk shit about LA Knight and they talk about and they're saying, well, LA Knight ain't nothing but a ripoff from the 90s of the Attitude Era. Who likes LA Knight? Everybody now. There's a certain, I guess, personality or persona or whatever, or charisma that's going out there. And the audience right now is gravitating to it. Be it from the 90s kind of era to the Jey Usos, to the Owens, to the Austin Theories, to the Cody, whatever that WWE can gravitate to and grab, that's what they're going to. There's another thing, and thank you for this. Bender Bridge says it shows how much WWE must love Austin Theory because they give him all the legends. Yeah, they did it with Edge. They did it with Randy Orton. They did it with any of the young and up and comers that they felt had a possible future with the company. They threw them all the legends kind of moments. And people will sit there and go, wow, they're burying Austin Theory. You have no fucking idea how the business works, especially with WWE. They did it with Miz. Miz had the same fucking run. It's ridiculous for you to actually believe that, like, just because someone takes a fucking people's elbow or a fucking FU or whatever the case may be, that they're getting buried. No, they're actually putting this kid over. This is the mentality that I think gets lost in translation when it comes with certain people in the business, because they tend to forget that. And I have a conversation with Homicide on this week's episode where there's a loss in wrestling of magic moments, and this is right then and there moments that needs to be happening. And with moments like The Rock showing up on SmackDown where you got a big pop and he's in the middle of the ring with Austin Theory. Austin Theory right then and there, he's not thinking about, oh, wow, they're burying me with this shit. Austin Theory is like, fuck, I'm in the middle of the fucking ring with a guy that I fucking admired growing up, and I had his t-shirt and posters up, and I wanted to be in a ring with a guy like him. Thank you. Do you automatically assume that it's going to be like, oh, I need to beat his ass? No. We saw what occurred later on down the line with Austin Theory. He is in the ring with John Cena, and they had their banter, their promo, and such like that. And who the fuck went over in WrestleMania? Austin Theory. They're building this kid. I never understand the thought process of individuals who watch wrestling for so many years, have seen this occur so many times, that we need to bring eyes back on the product or continue to have eyes on the product. And what more way to do that is bring one of the biggest fucking names in the business again. I had a conversation with our boy from Chokeslam Report Wrestling, our boy Henry, and his thought was, oh man, come WrestleMania, it's gonna be an all Hollywood main event and such. Duh! Of course it is. And why wouldn't it be? And this leads me to the third part of the conversation that I'm having, which is what happens with the CM Punk conversation? Does CM Punk come back to WWE? I'm going to say 90% says yes. Why? Here's why. A lot of you guys sit there and go, well, he done burned a lot of bridges with Vince McMahon and Triple H and all this shit, right? Yeah, he did. Who's in charge now? It's not Vince anymore. It's not Vince anymore. No. Vince is not in charge anymore. No. Who's in charge right now? TKO. TKO's in charge now. And TKO is a big fan of, I don't know, someone who was in their organization. I mean, UFC. Well, I don't know, CM Punk. Yeah. If you don't think that CM Punk will make a return to WWE, I mean, ASAP, I don't know what you think about business, because listen, if it doesn't happen, it's because Punk's asshole ways will deter that. But money talks. And then with how the business is going this day and age, listen, you could be mad at him. You could be upset with him. You probably don't like the way he is. Ben has said, I've said it before and I said it a million times, fuck Phil Brooks, but he'll end up back in WWE and make sure you'll know that WWE universe will pop again. Punk returning to WWE will get a bigger pop than he got in fucking Chicago. He'll get a bigger pop than AJ Styles got at Mania. He'll get a bigger pop than fucking Dolph Ziggler got when he cashed in on Alberto Del Rio. Whatever pop you could equate that to, that's what it is. Okay, if you keep telling me Matt Riddle is gone, whatever, I don't care. Like, okay, so he's gone. I don't see the report. I haven't gotten it. I don't care. He's one of those guys that it's irrelevant to me, and he's already burned his bridge with the stupidity he's done. Okay, whoever is posting, because I can't see who it is. So it's it's whatever. At the end of the day, Matt Riddle is irrelevant to what the fuck WWE is doing right now. WWE is shifting their shows. SmackDown is going to be on USA now. What the fuck is going to happen with Raw and NXT? Are they going to put them on primetime TV? Are they going to do like that's a Matt Riddle and the rest of the people who just got cut off? WWE right now is not really giving a fuck about that. They're looking at who is going to be their next big name stars or incoming stars that's going to be crazy to kill off. I mean, not kill off, but bring in a killing of ratings. And if you don't think that CM Punk is not on their fucking radar, they wanted to bring CM Punk in before he got into AEW. So what makes you think that they're going to sit there and do it again? Fox, UFC, they wanted him. It's inevitable. AEW just sat there and gave WWE the possible golden goose. The only person that could fuck this up is CM Punk himself. Because, Ari and the rest of the fucking TKO could sit there and because Vince looks like he's already going to be out the door. He's already saying, listen, I'm cashing out. Get me the fuck out of here. I'm good. But at the end of the day, if Triple H says, well, I don't think I could work with him, Ari's going to work. Well, tough tits. You're going to work with him because you're going to bring fucking eyes to the product now. How about that? And like I said, the only one who could fuck up this deal is CM Punk himself. But with that being said, guys, I'm off this. Got other shit that I got to record. I got things to do, other segments to record. But thank you guys for partaking and being a part of the live stream right now. And much more to come. Make sure you download, subscribe, be a part of the vibe of Turnbuckle Tabloid. Ben, please listen to the whole show. Get on a podcasting outlet and download and subscribe to the rest of the show. Listen, you could do it while you're at work. You can listen to the show and give comments, whatever the case may be. But please, everybody else, be a part of what's going on with Turnbuckle Tabloid at all podcasting outlets, all social media outlets, and everywhere you can find Turnbuckle Tabloid. This is what we're doing. And I got new setups. I got good. The audio is really good. Levels is good. So guys, don't go anywhere. Much more to talk about on the podcast. And thank you guys for being a part of this show. Talk to you guys later. Holla laters. Check you guys in a sec.
Hey, this is D. Wilson from the D and Antonio podcast, and you are listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
It's that time of the week, ladies and gentlemen, my friends. It's the fastest growing segment of Turnbuckle Tabloid's history. Your favorite segment and mine, Heel of the Week. This is a segment in which we go through the news and find who, what, where, and how the individuals in wrestling have become the heel of the week, inside and outside of the ring. Coming in at the third spot, Jackson Riker. Remember him? Used to be in WWE. All of a sudden, he got released due to budget cuts, but it seems as though he was rubbing people the wrong way, especially with his political views in the back, which is weird because WWE is very right-wing. Just saying. In any case, the young man got a job now, and it's not in the ring. He's apparently a sheriff in North Carolina. Yeah, because that's what we need now. We need more conservative, possible racists in the Carolinas becoming sheriffs and having some form of authority and power. Yeah. Once you're red, you're going to stay red. Right? Right. Coming in at the number 2 spot. This one hurts me. Kevin Nash. One of my favorites of all time. Man has a bright mind for the business. Very intellectual and intelligent man. And listen to his podcast every week. But this past couple of episodes, I've been on the... I have to say I've been I've been disagreeing with certain things that he's been saying. Number one has been his thoughts about the student loan forgiveness. Don't get me started about that. Yeesh. Yeah, Nash, listen, we're all not privileged enough to be able to go to college, which everybody says we should do, but be able to pay for it at the same time. But that's another story for another day. But no, this time it's Kevin Nash and his thoughts and comments about LA Knight. As many of you guys heard on SmackDown, LA Knight threw a little snide remark making reference to the adjective verb promo which Kevin Nash did in WCW in the 90s, and threw a little jab at him in his promo on said SmackDown. Well, seems as though that Nash might have taken that a little bit to heart. This past week on the episode, he discussed, of course, he continues with he's nothing original. He's just a copy and paste Stone Cold and Rock. And one of the things that kind of threw me for a loop is usually on Nash's show, he discusses how he doesn't really talk to Triple H, Paul Levesque, about business and such. But this week, he spoke about how he had a conversation with Paul about this guy's contract negotiations. So much so that Paul said he was having issues with it because the deal that LA Knight was looking for was a little bit larger than he thought he would be paying for him. But Nash, you don't really talk business with Triple H, so how would you know this? Why would you know this? Did you want to know this? I don't know, Nash. I think you might have taken this one a little personally. Funny though, Eric Bischoff mentioned that he heard the promo as well. He thought it was okay. He thought it was funny. Well, it wasn't laugh out loud, but it was a cute jab at Nash, and didn't think that Kevin would take offense to it really. But looks as though that wasn't the case. And finally, at the number one spot, taking home first place will be, oh, look at here, Vince McMahon. Why, you say? Well, recently, Vince had mentioned that doing part of the reasoning for the merger with UFC, which has now become TKO, Endeavor UFC has now become TKO, that the WWE had plateaued, and it seemed as though that business was just going average, to say the least. Average. You record record numbers of profits in the past 5 years, especially through the pandemic. Not many companies were able to do that, Vince. If that's plateauing, we all wish that we could plateau the way WWE did. Some seem to believe that Vince is on his way out permanently from TKO, seeing as though that there is still some legalities going along with certain instances. Let's just say Vince is going to have some court issues coming up soon, and rather than make a black eye to the said company, the new merger, Vince might start moving away and just taking his money and running. So Vince McMahon, oh, Vinnie Mac yourself, you are this week's heel of the week. I'm gonna take my money and run, pal, because ooh, the legal suits are coming. What a wow.
This is Matt Ryan, executive producer of Capital Wrestling and producer for Major League Wrestling, and you're listening to the Turnbuckle Tabloid.
Before we go to the Homicide conversation, I want to thank everybody who has been supporting not only Turnbuckle Tabloid, but the Rageworks family. Turnbuckle Tabloid this week was released as a 3,700th episode under the Rageworks umbrella. I have to say that big shout out to the boss himself, Rich, and the Rageworks family for such a great accomplishment, as well as everyone who comes together to support, share, and show love to the Rageworks family. And that means you guys, the listeners, who week by week, episode by episode. Tune in, listen. And not many of us are on social media streaming apps. We don't, not many of us is on YouTube. Not many of us is on the Twitches, on TikToks and stuff like that. But you guys are able to still subscribe, get your notifications, and download, stream, and listen to the Rageworks family week to week. And we want to thank you guys for that. Much love to all you guys for being a part of the Rageworks family, and much, much more to come, man. Thanks you guys for that. And, yeah, let the buffoonery begin. Like I said, sorry about the audio issues. Apparently Homicide was in his basement, hiding from something or someone, but even still, we still got some great conversation out from him. So, enjoy. It's nothing but fun when it comes to Homicide, man. Good day, boys and girls. Once again, it's about that time to enjoy stories from your favorite wrestler and mine. He's funny, he's witty, he's charming, and he'll give you the stories that you'll love to sit back and listen to. It's Ride or Die with Homicide. So what's going on? It's been a minute since we had a conversation with this man, and it's good, and it's for good reason, because this man has been doing his thing. He's been busy, taking over companies, winning championships, flying all over the world. I still can't believe that they actually allow you in other countries. How the fuck does that happen?
I'm a good person.
you know people.
I know people. Connection. But it's good. It's good. Good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing, because the last time you went out, you was out there, and you was in Japan with some great talent around you, man. How was that last trip?
Man, it was incredible. It's like my closure. Like, all I want to do is go to New Japan, Corner Hall. A lot of people doesn't know about the hall. That's like, I would say, comparison, ECW Arena / MSG. So my thing was that my goals was MSG or the Dome. Well, I got both, but at least I got the hall. So my thing is that when they called me, man, I was emotional. I was like, this got to be a joke. And boom, they told me this is what you're going to do, and we see it there, July 4th. No problem.
Right.
Went out there, and man, it was incredible. It might be my top 5 favorite moments of wrestling. It was awesome.
Yeah, but not only did you have your moment, wasn't that the same night where Eddie won his title out there?
Yeah, man. Like, look, man, we both I want to say marks, but we're huge influence and fans of Japanese culture and wrestling. So we always talk about that. And for him winning a belt, a title in Japan for a company, it's huge. Like, when I went out there, it was a shoot. It was no script. It was a real celebration. It was one of those, like, we're going out there, we're going to rule the world. We're going to take over. And that's what we did, you know. And I'm a coach, a leader, now a follower, and I'm happy that my boys did it. They did something with their lives. Because the way I grew up, man, it feels so good if somebody take over and be like, all right, I got this. So it was so cool. So cool.
Speaking of which, it's really cool that this past week we saw Eddie finally claim one of his goals that he's been targeting for years. Eddie was able to win the ROH world title, and it's a familiarity because there's a certain individual. In case you guys don't pick up on the Zuno Sequoia voice, the very prolific voice that we have on the phone here, our boy Homicide is in the building, and it's almost a full circle coming because you were their inaugural champ, right?
Yeah, man, 23 years ago. So it was 1996, and no, excuse me, 2006. And I wrestled the Mega Dragon, New York City, Madison, beat him. 20 years later, like Eddie Club and the Grand Slam, Arthur Ashe Stadium, where the fuck it's called.
Oh.
But
whatever.
That was really dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Believe me, I've lived out here for as long as you have, and I still wouldn't know what the fuck to call it. It's like that building out in fucking over there.
I know it's cross street from the best of the Flush Toronto. Cool thing about Queens is my deep in us. Other than that, whatever. But I was feeling that I did it 3 years ago, and for Full Circle 360, and Eddie got it. So welcome to the club.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because you guys were the originators in that building, like you and Xavier, Red, all New York, pretty much the New York guys, and then fast forward 23 years later, the compadre gets it. You know what I mean? It's finally it's like a full circle thing, and Eddie's such an emotional guy. Yeah, go ahead.
The crazy thing is I never think stuff like that. Like, whatever. People say, yeah, I made with the money. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then years later, it's still around. And I still get people like, yeah, you made New York wrestling. But whatever. I don't see it. But down in the humble experience, and man, it feels really good.
No,
that's like, to me, like, my day is over. Like, I don't care about WWE, all the wrestling. I don't care, So I'm very good where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it is poetic that when you look at it that way, especially when it's we know the New York grind. We spoke about it numerous times on the show how the New York grind was in the mid to late 90s, in the early 2000s. The world was able to get to see what New York was able to bring to the table. And then now we're looking at it, 23 years into the millennium, and, Eddie gets this shot. You've been out there fucking grinding your ass off every year, putting it to the test to show what the whole, mentality is. But like you mentioned, it's not only the New York shit. It's been that, you guys have been able to mix everything all together in like a big sancocho pot. You put every style that you could come into and put it in the business. Like recently we just saw you at House of Glory and you had a match with Matt Cardona, and you working on a bum wheel, man, and you still went out there and was able to put something together. Is that like is that drive? Is that stupidity? Like, what is it that tells you I gotta go out there?
Greg, man, I really don't know. I love this. I love pro wrestling. It's all the best I could do, and I've been through a lot when it comes to bunny stitches, bruised spine. I don't know, man. I just go out there and be like, all right, I could do this. You know what it is? Sometimes I feel like people laughing and be like, this guy never gonna make it. Man, I'm so stupid that think like that. Like, I've been doing this for 29 years. 29 years, that's a lot. Take no breaks, high level, every weekend, every country. Think about it. The only thing I never did is WWE and WCW. I did everything, NECW, but that's a different story. But I did everything. And every favorite wrestlers wants to wrestle me, and I worked them, even when I'm injured. So I love this. I love pro wrestling. You know what I mean? To me, pro wrestling is like a hot girl. So, I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel stupid Sometimes I feel passionate. Like, I don't know, bro. I really don't know. But now I'm getting to the point, like, screw y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't care no more. Like, me don't sound like bitter. I'm not bitter. But sometimes I feel like mafia. I don't care.
You sound like a guy who
It's
actually.
Richmond.
You sound like a guy who actually put in like 29 years, 30 years at a job, and they waiting to give him the gold watch, ready to give him his retirement papers, and he's like, "Fuck y'all, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here." Like, it just seems like
on
it's
the real,
done.
that happened so many times. Like, I've been talking a lot of crap. Like, I'm done. And I realized that I was burned out. I need a break.
Yeah.
You know, and now, I'm dead ass when I say, yo, I'm done. This is my last road. It's for a reason. I went to, I don't know if I told this, but went to a doctor to tell me, your D, homicide, I'm never going to make it in 30 years because I'm trying to go 30 years.
Right.
And I'm telling why. And basically telling me, look, right now, your heart, your blood pressure is up. You got a bad eye. Your brain, your right side brain, you got like a spot, like I forgot what you call it. It's not tumor, but it's something. But with the brain, it affects my right side, my speech, and the way I talk, everything. I hate it. I hate it so much. So it's like, man, I think I'm gonna make it 30 years, but every when I wake up, I feel worse. Like, I woke up 2 weeks ago at the NWA. I wrestled this kid. Kicked his ass, but it was a good match. I woke up and I'm like, yo, why the hell I'm hurt? Like, I'm the one who did most of the offense, you know? So I was walking, limping. My coworkers like, yo, Hamza, you good? Yeah, I'm good, man. Just, I'll be okay. Next day, I could walk. I was walking with the king. And we joke around like, yo, what's up? Oh, man, I feel like my injuries are coming through. Right now, my right elbow is messed up. My right eye is getting messed up. My speech is getting worse. Just everything is getting worse. So it's like, man, I think it's about the time that I'm going to accept like a retirement. Well, I don't want to say retirement because I hate that word, but it's been one of those like I'm gonna step away from competition. So, but I'm good though. Like, I accept that, like I said, everything, but a lot of people can see how much sounds bitter. No, I'm not bitter. You know, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, 29 years and all these jabronis out there, these corporations. Then we got the nerds call me, talk to me. They're being super marks for themselves. They're being bitches, all of them. You know, and I like to fight them. You know, if you got a problem, you know where I live at, you know where I work at. Basically, I work every day. So you let me know what's up. Look for Homicide. A Puerto Rican kid from Brooklyn was 5'7".
What was the closest you ever got? What was the closest that you ever got to the WWE? What was did you ever get any looks, any scouting, any of that? Did anybody give you a call, come down? Back then they didn't have a PC. They probably tell you like to, check out OVW or FCW or something like that. Did you is there any time that you ever got close to scratching that surface?
To make fully help me, it was 2005 where I saw Cook, man, somewhere in New York, and he was telling me, Mick Foley came up and told me I love the way you do your job. I had the people in my hands. Vince will love it. And he said, here's the number, call him, tell him I recommend you. But my other pocket, I had Connor's number. And Connor is telling me, hey, man, I'm doing this new project. It's called the Latin American Exchange. It's a company called TNA. Let's talk. So I'm picking, like, which one is better? And I picked TNA. Why? Because it was a light schedule. At the time, big men, they're like small guys. They like the big dudes, And so I picked TNA. And That's the only time, maybe one time that Mick Foley, I give him a big shout out to Mick Foley helping me. And that was in 2005. That was the only time. Now, mind you, I got a lot of friends in that company. Matter of fact, I got friends everywhere, but in that company, I got very close friends. And they tell me, like, hey, you know, put your head up, you know, everything be okay. I'm all right, man. I'm good. But, you know, time flows and, you know, I miss the call. I miss something. So I really don't know. I don't give a shit no more. That's my point right now.
Yeah,
I used to care, but not no more.
I can only imagine, like, especially during that time, if you'd have gone in, you'd have gone in and it'd have been more like, yeah, we're going to have to get rid of the Homicide name. We're going to toss that to the side. You're going to be el único.
El guapo. Yeah. El payaso maricón.
El maltardo or some shit like that. And they'll put you in a mask.
Yeah.
And it'll be something like they'll make you like part of a really stereotypical lucha faction or whatever, and motherfuckers would have been like, "Ain't that fucking D?" Like,
yeah, and the shit is, I didn't care. I told everybody from that company, you could choose my gift. Yo, one thing that to people is kind of funny. I would like the name Homicide, but that's my name that I pay bills. Because I'm against sponsors. I'm not going to a hospital. They'll be like, hey, dude, Homicide, it be messed up. A hospital where kids are dying and they're gonna search a guy named Homicide because it means murder.
Yeah, I can't imagine, you know, it's having somebody's Google search and every time it comes up Homicide and he's just a big wrestling fan looking to see your videos and shit. And they're like, why do you keep searching up Homicide? Are you looking into something? He's like, no, he's my favorite wrestler. Sure, put your hands behind your back, sir.
Exactly. Like, Diaz also, man, we're Conan used to yell at me, telling me, yo, they're using that name, your Homicide is Turnbuckle. Like, it was very frustrating, but I give up. I like, screw it. Screw it. I don't care. People. Matter of fact, the way the kidney Joe Lorenzo, Nelson, that's my brother's name. And it became like, oh my God, the Conan Nelson, like, seriously, I don't care. You know, that's going on. But he knows I whip that ass.
So, yeah, but you have guys that's gone through that doorway. You know, like you say, you had a lot of close friends there, and you also have people who's gone through that doorway. Have you ever had conversations with them, and you know they've told you whether or not you know you'll be a fit there, or you know what, it's not a place for you, or because I know, you know, not too long ago Eddie was he had I believe his tryout at the PC and stuff, and he was just like, yeah, if you're not gonna let me be who I am, then I'm not a fit here. That's what was talked about. Do you guys ever discuss like stuff like that?
Nope, never.
Yeah,
never. I mean, only wrestling. Yes, they tell me if you don't want to work there, you're gonna hate it. I don't care. It's a job. Any job is not good.
Right.
Even wrestling, because wrestling you got to do with a bunch of punks. People down the ego, sake, everything. So it's a job. To me, it's a job. But nah, nobody tell me like, nah, it's not for you. Anything. So I'm like, whatever.
Just gonna put a quick promotion out here, guys. Our boy Homicide is gonna be pulling up in New York City, baby, back in Brooklyn. The guy's working on the bum wheel and other issues that he's going on with, but he's still pulling up that Outlaw Wrestling coming up Brooklyn, September 28th, 7 p.m. You guys don't want to miss this. This is the Brooklyn Monarch, man, 23 Meadow Street. Tickets are still available. Doors open at 7 p.m. Bell time's at 8. A lot of talent on that board, and you guys are going up again to be you and Bull Bull James going up against Alpha Jr. and Jacob Fatu. You and Jacob danced before not too long ago, and I think there's still some unsettled business there. Guys, tickets are still available. Check out Eventbrite for those tickets still available. And don't want to miss it. It's a new venue, guys. And I mentioned earlier, that's me and Homicide's old stomping grounds. We went to school right down the block from the venue. That's gonna be real interesting. We're gonna be in the PJs, bro.
Yeah, man. Yo, that show means a lot to me. A lot of people don't know. It means a lot. The high school, that's my old turf. You know what I mean? Not that a lot of people doesn't know what this, but I've seen, and that's one of the guys that. One of the guys that go up and be like, you know, like, come to building. I got lots of issues with some months. Like I said, it's the hood. So it means big to me for that day.
So you mentioned earlier about, working with, what's the climate now with the talent these days and such like that. You're a guy who's often, of course, you're known for your singles work, but you're definitely a dude who worked in the tag world. What did you prefer to work in more, as a singles or in tags?
Man, give me money. I'm going anything. I don't care, and I could do them all, man. I'm like MacGyver of violence. I could do anything. It doesn't matter. I just need someone who could work. That's the main thing. Like me and Matt Corona, do everything was off script. Everybody know what that means. But he's the man. He's a motherfucker, but he's sorry, language, but he's the man. So I could do anything, man. I cannot tell you one thing that I could do the best singles tag team. I don't know. I just know that I'm the man. And I'm being cocky. I'm just very confident on myself that I'm the man.
No, because, we hear these, and I bring up the tag team stuff because there's a lot of discrepancies and a lot of stories that come out where, some tag team stuff is not as harmonious or as beautiful as depicted on front of the cameras and stuff like that. And some may say that there's always that look that someone is the star, that some, out of two people, one of the guys, and I hate to use that terminology, but, one is the Shawn Michaels and somebody's going to be the Marty Jannetty. And I've always saw like when you was intact with LAX and the Outlaws and all that, and the Rots and all that, I never really saw that. Your teams always seem to have like that cohesiveness that no one was that bright star. Did you ever have to deal with that in the back? I mean, you don't have to tell tales of anybody personally, but did you ever have to deal with that kind of feeling that there was some kind of animosity, envy, jealousy going on back there?
Nah, never. But I really do feel like I should be the ring general, if that makes sense. Like, I never told my guy, okay, I'm going to be the captain, that Derek Jeter or whatever in wrestling. But it's my vibe, the way I feel. Like, I know what I'm saying. I know what to do. Don't ask me 50. Sometimes I tell my partner, it's on you. But that people be like, so much is Mark Eddie. I'm a pro wrestler.
Yeah, it's Baba, you're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you're breaking up. You moving? You walking around? You getting that knee working?
No, I'm in the basement.
That's why you're in the weight room, quote unquote. The weight room.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you hear these stories, and a lot of times you also hear these stories where it's people and and like I said, I'm not really going to tell tales or anything because we've had conversations off the mic. I wouldn't do that, but you hear stories of people that and it's like, you laid out the general point, dude. Make the money, that's where it's at. It's the money. I mean, you could always have your ambitions, your goals, your dreams, and there's a time and place for it. But right now, there's money on the table. So do you even have these conversations with people, or are you just like, you know what, I'm done with it. I can't even talk to people anymore?
I never did. Bless, I never did. I see other tag teams and other people, but never for my dude, never. So I'm kind of happy that I never been through kind of case. But I always joke around, man, be on phone, go out there and get busy. You know, and there's never be me. If that guy is going superior, well, the other guy got to step up. It got to be equal. It cannot be one guy be like up there like 90%, and the other guy be 10%, and now it should be 50-50. But I never had that problem, man. I'm lucky. I'm lucky, man. I'm lucky from all terms.
Yeah, and like I said, you go into Wikipedia, you'll see like your accomplishments, your goals, your championships, and a lot of people will say like he should have gotten more. He should have gotten more opportunities. He should have been able to get that quote unquote brass ring. It's the winding years, and right now you're saying like you don't give a fuck, and I get that because I feel about that a lot. We get older, we get to that point in life that it's like, you know what, we got to start thinking about what really matters, and
that's where I'm at right now. That's perfect. That's where I'm at now, and where I'm at is producing a coach and an agent. That's what my future is right now. I'm part of that with the NWA, and that's my team right there.
Do you think that's what it's going to be? You think that's going to be once you're able to hang up the boots, that now you can say, all right, now my focus is to work with coaching, with agenting, with possibly doing more in the back. Do you think that's going to be where you can really focus at?
Yes. Absolutely. I've been like company for like 4 years. 5 years that nobody know, and sometimes you like your lives a match. Oh, you're welcome. Go with me. We see like snug, stiff, it's because of me. But I'm happy. I'm very happy because at first they told me, hey, we want you to be an agent and retire. I'm like, nah. No, that guy good advice from legends in this business, and I think it's the greatest pick I've ever did. But right now, like my wrestling, my performance, fight, whatever is coming to an end. It really is. So I need to focus on my future, and that is my future. That's not tell people I'm gonna retire, but I hate that word because I really not. Maybe in the ring competition, I step away, but I still be part of the game. But I'm be a coach.
Do you have a target date? And since you don't like using the word retirement, do you have an exit date? This is what we say, like in the job.
Yeah,
you have an exit
that
date.
Crazy. I tell so many people, like, I just gonna do it quiet. When you see me take my boots off and put in the ring, that's it. But I think I promise it will be NYC because I started NYC. I want to end it NYC.
Yeah, please, thank you. Because I want to at least get a heads up so I can at least schedule a day off, or if I have to call out, because I got to be there for that. I have to be there for that celebratory stuff. And of course, we spoke about I'm gonna light up a big ass blunt in the middle.
Yeah, I'm do that to all. God, but I tell some because somebody telling me and let me know. I tell everybody, I don't know, it could be a day like today, like, son, and you be telling what you mean done. Like, I'm done. I'm putting in a ring, and I'm gonna do a best prize. So I don't got a date. I just know that I want to make it 30 years of wrestling. That's March 5th. After that, that's WrestleMania weekend.
I
want to do my final tour, my world tour. I'm doing last shows in Canada. I'm going to the UK. I think I'm done Japan. I'm going one more time to see my boys, Australia. But definitely doing my last tours, and thing I tell people, like I'm doing my last Cali, Texas, Florida. I'm going by order: Philadelphia, New Jersey, and the last stop, New York City.
It actually is perfect because exactly WrestleMania is going to be in the tri-state area, and it fits perfectly for that time. I'll know when it happens when I start seeing people that aren't usually around and they're in the building. It's like,
But the biggest problem is I have died down in medical reasons. Like tomorrow, like we hang up and tomorrow wake up, I'll be like, man, I feel really messed up. I go to the doctor telling me like you're done, and I'll give a call like, yo, I'm done.
damn.
So it could be do anytime. I'm not saying that I'm really messed up. 'Cause I'm not mentally. I am, like mental. And when I say mentally, I am meaning like I'm mad. I don't want to sound bitter. You know what? It's like very hard. But I just think people complain and the egos and everybody makes so much money and great business for the fans, but no, it's about me. It shouldn't be that way. It should. But yeah, man, it could be one day. You never know. I'm never gonna put it in my special.
Well, like I said, I'm hoping that it's local. That and it's not saying like, motherfucker, like, shit.
It's definitely local.
I don't need your body to fucking
like, yo, it gotta be one of those hood areas. Like I'm talking about dirty ass gym. Like that's where I want to retire. I don't want to retire in GCW because they did so much good things with me. I don't want them to retire in all wrestling and Grand Slam next year. I don't. I want to wrestle like somewhere dirty in the hood, because that's where I came from. I came from Bodega in Southside Brooklyn. It was really a piece of crap, and I want to end it.
Thank you Puerto Rican wrestling with Pedro and the crew for introducing the world to Homicide in that bodega in the South Side. That was your launching pad. I actually went past the church the other day. We were coming down the strip on Lewis, and
like that.
Yeah, and I saw the church, and I was like, holy shit, this is where the Pedro's fucking promotion used to run out. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was good, man. People be like making fun of it, but it was good.
You like I said, you have the days are coming down, and not many people know you are a family man, and you got you still have your children and stuff, especially your little one and such. Are you ready to become full-fledged dad, home style? Since you've been on the road, so many dates out of the year and stuff. Are you ready to pull it back, put the chairs in the recline position, and ready to put the wheels down on the plane? I've heard many stories of many you and I being sports fans and all, of athletes who once that time has come, that it's like, now I'm ready to be at home, but yet you still feel that itch and scratch. Are you ready to be home dad and husband and such?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I am. I'm right now. So, but I'm ready. That's the first thing I was thinking about. It was that. But yeah, I'm ready. The bad part of everything is that day that comes. It can be a very emotional sadness. That's the part like, you know what? Oh, don't cry for your last man. I'm not gonna cry. And man, that day will come, because I did so much biggest part of my life. Matter of fact, it was on the way, and Lee Corbin was my boss. Then documentary. And I think it's for Netflix or something. And they asked her a question. I got choked up. Then I snapped. The reason I snapped because it wasn't a wrestling question. It was about my life, about about told you about I got abused by priests. I used to be an altar boy, and I used to be I'm Catholic. I respect God, I believe in God, but I had this one priest. I hated so much because I was 13 years old. I used to mess up this thing. It's like wrestling a spot, and I messed up, and he just smacked the hell out of me, beat me up, and nobody believed. So I told them that.
Oh, it's physical abuse. It was physical abuse.
Yeah, and I choked, bro. I got like that. I paused for a couple of seconds. And I snapped. His name is Barde Pico. That was prison. Just into. But that's a different story. But yeah, man. I hate that word. I keep it real, but I'm some real thing. So my last match is going to be very emotional. I'm not going to be getting a microphone and tell a speech. All I want to do is put boots in the middle, smoke a blunt, and tell everybody thank you and walk away. Are we gonna put these boots up for auction? Are we gonna make some money off of this? At least for something? Dude, like my vision, I can tell you this right now. My vision is put the boots in the ring and leave front door and go to my car and leave. I'm not going to the back. Fuck that. You know what? That's what I see is I take my boots, smoke a blunt, get on my phone, tell people thank you so much, and I jump out the garbo and get in my car and leave. Nah, fuck that. We're going to alter those plans at that day. We're going to end up fucking pulling up. We're going to go to a bar and fucking just tear it up that night, bro. Yeah, couple days you do that. I feel like fish and good fellas when you're whack. That's what I feel. Yeah, I hear this conversation and it goes back because I'm not going to keep you on for too long. I know you got things to do, but it just reminds me of one of your idols who just recently passed away, Terry Funk, and he cranked it out for so many years, man, and the legend, and there's no words that can describe what that man did for the business and what came up behind him. Do you see any comparisons between you and Terry? That wasn't that you were, following in his footsteps, but it's just the personalities or the ringman showmanship that you guys are. Do you see any similarities between the two of you? I would say no. So many people say yes, but myself, nah. The reason why, because nobody can be comparing here. Say fucking nobody, not even myself. But so many people tells me, yo, you're like the Puerto Rican version of Terry Funk. Well, thank you, the comment, but I don't see it. I just don't for myself. I don't. I see more Manny Fernandez, but not Terry Funk. I try my best to Terry Funk, but nobody can be like him. Not Mick Foley, not Deaf Wrestlers, not nobody. Not Dory Funk Jr. So, man. God got an angel that Terry Funk, and that's an aggressive angel up there. So I don't know, him and Dutch Rose is having a match right now. But, people tell me, man, so many things about you like Terry Funk. This is why, and I don't know, man. I don't see it, but I'm grateful. I mentioned earlier, like we said, we were talking about the injuries, the toll the body takes. Wrestling, everybody gives this whole, anybody who doesn't know the business, who, takes the casual shot as always, just like, it's fake and all that nonsense that it goes into it. But people don't really understand the toll it takes on the body and the mind and the like Dusty would say, it's about the miles and the money that occurs. But
And like I said, you although you don't really like to know, or be acknowledged as that, but you're a locker room leader. You're a guy who's a coach. You're a mentor to many of these wrestlers. Do you even sit there and have these conversations, or at least like tips to people that like asking them about, how their ring work is, or what they need to do to preserve the body, because it's this day and age, the game has gotten different, whether it's all about the pops, and it's got to be like a pop every fucking 3 minutes, or it's not a great match. It's not a Meltzer 5-star. Like, do you talk to these guys about this?
Every time we go out of wrestling, I do it to the guys, and like every show. Matter of fact, it was the same thing. I always tell people, you gotta do this. Get relaxed. But dude, I hate talking. I hate hearing myself talk. That's the main thing of everybody. Like, well, the reason why, excuse my language, motherfucker, no, it's not that. It's all the that I went through in wrestling, all the bullshit I went through in wrestling. Oh, yeah, concussion. I wrestled 30 minutes, because I wanted to end it. I always remember it was me, Kingston Loki against Sammy Kennehan and his two boys in Chicago. And I did my dope, and it happened. I was knocked out. I didn't even know what the hell happened. All I know that I got stapled in my head. Saw the tape, got stapled in the beginning of the match and wrestled 29 minutes. Like, come on, bro, that's the passion. But I tell people, you gotta be careful what you do. Dude, don't be Allen. Hello?
Yeah.
Kid, you're gonna die. Keep it up.
Yeah.
You're not Sabu. Stop it. Like, there's only one Sabu. Just like there's only one Terry Funk. There's only one Homicide. And I'm saying he's comparing to Sabu, man. He does ridiculous stuff that he's going to get hurt and get paralyzed. And I tell people, you gotta slow down. But you don't know what the hell he's saying. All right.
Everybody,
see your ass in the hospital with applesauce and don't say nothing.
Yeah, everybody wants that. They want that 15-second, 20-second clip on the TikToks, on the Instagram reels.
But you said it best. It changed. The game changed. You said it best. Yeah. Like, think about it. Like, back in the days, we wasn't listening to CD players.
Yeah.
CD players came out, and boom, now we got iPod.
Right.
Now we listen to music in our phone, our cell phone. I'm talking to you in my cell phone right now.
Right.
Like, take a picture and play music. It's just like wrestling.
Yeah.
Like in the 50s, 60s, it was boring. And it comes 70s, 80s, boring. Now it is okay. The revolution. Now it's beyond crazy.
Yeah, I have my love-hate relationship with the modern style because of what their target is when it comes to it. But when it in reality, what I'm looking at is if you could still do the fundamentals. At the end of the day, they changed the rules of baseball. The bases are a little bit bigger now. You still now you have the ability to, after two throws to first base, the pitcher's not allowed to do that anymore. They have a pitch clock and such. But even still, the essence of baseball is still there. You got to hit the ball. You got to get runs. You got to be able to defensively play, for a double play. They're still there. And I think that with wrestling, we're missing that element of what the real basis of wrestling is, which is basically the story, the execution, and drawing your audience to the characters, the wrestlers, whatever it is that they want to call each other these days. That's what's being missing these days.
You know what I miss, bro, in wrestling? Those magic moments. Meaning, do you remember I was sitting there after interviews with Jake the Snake. He got fired for WWF. Then there was Sting, I guess somebody. It was somebody. Mick Foley, Cat Jack came.
Mm-hmm.
They run in and they put the camera on the audience. And Jim Ross was like, who the hell? Why there's a camera on the audience? Hold on for a second. I know this guy. That's Jake Roberts.
Right.
He can work for WCW. Jump over the guardrail, beat up Sting, give him a DDT. I'm like, oh my God, missed that. Same thing with Hogan became NWO, whatever. Right. He betrayed WCW. The last person who did that I read that magic moment was an independent company, was GCW, when Nick Gage was like, he was hurt. He was on fire, and somebody came with a hood and do the John Moxley wave. And he took the mask off, and it was Matt Canada.
Right.
People went crazy. That's the moment that I miss in wrestling. Seriously, what's the moment that, man, I'm thinking about it right now. There's no moment in wrestling.
I tell you one was my last one, and I'm keeping it a buck because it ain't because we peoples and all that, we fam and shit, but because I was there for it, and we didn't speak about it. We didn't talk about it. I don't even think I even brought it up to you, and it wasn't even a conversation because we had seen each other probably a week or two before that. But the first Grand Slam and the match with Eddie and Mox, and I kept telling the peoples I was with, I said, Homicide gonna pop up. I said, he's gotta pop up. I said, this is the perfect. And everybody's like, yo, you think? And then since they know that we cool, they're like, what you know? I said, to be honest with you, I don't know shit. D ain't tell me nothing. I said, I'm kind of mad at this motherfucker because he ain't say anything to me. But I said, I got a feeling he's gonna pop. He's gonna pop up here. And when the theme music hit, like, it wasn't even your theme, but people already knew it was you. And I was like, I fucking knew it. That was my magic moment. And even though like you didn't do much and you were just there, it was like the first essence of like homegrown getting a moment at that at a point in time. And that was like, I haven't really experienced something, especially being there presently, that was a magic moment. That was a good time.
I did it, and when I watched the tape, I'm like, man, I should do more.
You're breaking up again. You're breaking up again. Do it again.
Hello?
Say it again. Yeah, you're breaking up again. Say it again.
Yeah. So the great, I was. Doing something. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I look at the tape back, like yesterday. I looked there, and I'm like, man, I should have done more. Got to add the things. That's it. That was the first time that I met. I did that once, but I rest in the Melrose Ballroom, Click Suzuki on a Friday. But I was an independent GCW, so it was kind of cool. Then me and Manu Suzuki, it was cool. So the good thing about that day that I came just to hang out, and boom, they told me doing something. I told them no, and I did something. And I spoke to a lot of legends, especially Suzuki, and we bonded. We still cool today. So it was
yeah.
Think about like moments like 100 times. Okay, man, he whipped up his chair at the Hopper.
Yeah, it's like I said, the that moment you had and there's something about just getting that reaction in, we used to wait for after Mania because we would get like a heel turn or somebody popping up on Raw that we didn't expect to pop up, and the past couple of years we haven't been getting that or like just that feeling of what is going to be that next elevation of a storyline and stuff. And like you said, we haven't been seeing that for a minute, man. And then it you're right, it kind of sucks for that to happen.
In my personal opinion, as a producer, I blame it. I don't want to say blame, but the writers. The writers are focusing on one thing. Are focusing the big picture. So you gotta focus on a mystery. Now, mystery can be big. Like I always remember, it was last year. Matter of fact, I was outside with Betty, and somebody came out the door, but it was covered blanket. But I saw the hand. It was a girl. Like, what the hell? Okay, and it was what's her name, Paige, that girl, that little guy. Yeah, it was kind of friends with the mom. And the first time I met your daughter was that day at Grand Slam, man. The shoes cover up. Nobody can see her. So much Jack Rambo. So that thing, the other thing. So that was kind of cool. But I always say the writers, the producer, need to put some mystery. Like other, just go out there, boom, 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 now and put some mystery and see what happens. But I don't know. Stop telling them what the hell I'm saying. All I do is smoke weed and wrestle for 29 years. So
It's funny you mentioned that, because I was just gonna go. Although you're a Wu-Tang fan, heavy and such, but I always consider you the red man of wrestling, because your lifestyle, you're breaking up on your phone. You're the
Cribs.
You're the MTV Cribs. You're the red man of wrestling. But once again, I want to thank you for your time, man. And guys, make sure you check out Outlaw Wrestling coming up in Brooklyn. We're gonna be out here September 28th. It's a Thursday. Doors open up at 7 p.m. 8 p.m. bell time at the Brooklyn Monarch. That's on 23 Meadow Street in Brooklyn, New York. Main event will be Alpha Jr. and Jacob Fatu versus Homicide and Bull James. And my brother Familia, as always, thanks again for your time, man. Much love to you and the family. And like I said, I know that door is closing, but as I always tell people, another door opens up for you, man. Bless.
Hold on. Thank you.
All right, bro. We're going to be out of here. I'll holler at you people later. You don't hang up yet. All right. Laters.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Turnbuckle Tabloid.